I'm going to show you how to use my teddy bear cutter set for cupcakes. So in this set, you get a head cutter, you get an arm cutter, which you flip over to do the opposite side, a snout, and an ear. Now I'm using Saracino modeling paste here. I made mine just a very pale color here. I think I used cream for this one. Just roll out about 3 to 4 millimeters thick. You want it fairly thick. You're going to make a nice rounded bear. And to get it nice and round, cover your paste with a piece of cling film. And you're going to get your cutter and cut through the cling film and through the paste. This rounds the edges really nicely. You don't have to do this. I just like having a rounded edge bear face. Take your piece out and then replace the cling film and cut your arms. Don't forget when you do the second arm to flip the cutter over to do the opposite way. Sometimes it does get stuck. Just gently peel off. Your other option is, if you wanted to do this, which I usually do, is I roll my paste out, set it aside for about 5 minutes, just so it can set a little bit firmer for me to cut through, and it's not as tacky. It doesn't dry out, it just sets a bit firmer. So the cocoa butter in the paste can set a little bit. Both my arms cut out, and now I'm going to cut the ears. When you're cutting really small shapes like this, through the cling film, it can be a little bit tricky. Sometimes the cutter goes straight through the cling film and the paste, and you literally have to peel the cling film off. But it doesn't leave cling film in the actual piece of icing. You just have to peel it off, which is nice and easy. So cut the 2 ears. The snout we're going to do separately because we don't need it to be rounded. And we're also going to do it in a slightly different color, which is generally lighter than the color that you're using. Set your paste aside and your cling film. I'm just neatening around the edges of my face just to make sure it's nice and smooth. Now I'm going to get a white to do the snout from. So I'm just going to soften it up nicely and then roll it out and cut a snout for the bear. This one you need to go a bit thinner. You don't want a massively chunky snout sitting on the top of the bear's face. I just swapped my icing over here as I realized there was some color in the other icing. And press the snout. I did this one with cling film again to make it a little bit rounder. Now you've got your snout. You can get the face and a disc that you're going to be placing your bear onto. 2018. Add a little bit of glue on the back of the snout to add to the face. And I add the snout right down at the bottom middle of the bear's face and gently press into place. You don't have to cut the snout as round. You can just cut it straight anyway. I use a Sweet Elite arc tool here to make a little smile on my bear's face.
And looks terrified.
Then I use my knife just to make a little line going from the center of the mouth up to where the nose will be. And there you've got the snout part done.
Yeah, put 6 drops.
Now I'm going to add some little holes for where I want the eyes to be on the bear's face. Just gently with the ball tool. Don't go all the way through the icing. Just press down into the bear's face. You're going to roll 2 pieces of black paste for the eyes. Try keep them as even as possible, but also you don't want them bulging out of the head. They just need to slip into the eye socket. So gently drop them in. You can add a little bit of glue at this point to stick the eyes in if you feel like your icing's too dry. But if you do add glue, don't add too much because when you push the black part of the eye in, it will just squeeze the sugar glue out. So you literally want a dot of it if you need it. Both eyes added, and I'm making a little indent on the snout to add the nose. Now the nose I'm using a darker brown color for, and it's just a small little piece, rolling it into a ball and then into an oval shape to press into place. And there you've got your nose. Right, now I'm using a chisel-shaped color shaper here. And I add the eyebrows onto my bear using this. I use this on a lot of my characters. I always find eyebrows just add that little bit of character to the face. You can make angry faces, sad faces, happy faces, just with the little eyebrows. So getting your disc, I made this a couple of days ago so it's nice and firm. Add your arms first to the bottom of your disc. I always like to cross my arms over just slightly so the one paw is coming over the other. And place it in place. And then you're going to add the head on. And the head tucks nicely in here between the two hands, or two paws. Tuck it in nicely. Press in place, and obviously keep your edges nice and neat. And add your ears. If it will stick on, that is. And add each side. You can, if you wanted to, indent the ears with a ball tool and add a little bit of color if you'd like. I've just tried to keep this simple for the video. Now I want to add some roses, so roll out some red modeling paste. This was a little bit tacky when I was working with it because I had colored it not long before. Roll it out nice and thin. Then get that into your hand and gently start rolling in on one side. Preferably set it aside so it's not quite as sticky, and just literally roll it all together to make a little rose shape. Once you've created your rose, pinch it between two fingers and roll it. It opens the rose a little bit, but also gets rid of any excess that you don't need at the back. Trim this off with a knife. And you can add this to your bear. I just use a Dresden tool to push it down a little bit. You can use a cocktail stick or anything really to stick it down. And add an extra little rose to finish the bear. Thank you so much for watching. You can purchase my cutters in my Etsy shop. Have a lovely day.